All right, so I tried doing it with my computer and that did not work for some reason. So we are doing it on my phone now. So hopefully this sounds decent here. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me, and we'll start the ground, hit the ground running here. Um, we got 4 people on. It's on. Sweet. I don't know why it wasn't working on my computer. That was really strange. That's first. I can hear and see you now. Perfect. Hello, hello. I'm glad everybody's popping on. I'm gonna pull up my laptop with some additional questions and answers from the forums. Hear and see you. All good. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. I'm gonna let everybody. Sorry, I'm kind of late on here. I was on time on my computer, but it wouldn't work up, or it wouldn't work. So now we're on my phone, and hopefully the audio and video quality is decent. We give everybody a little bit of time to jump on here, hear and see me. Okay, good. Just signed up for DSK 30 minutes ago. Very nice. What's up, Max Havoc? How you doing, brother? Christos, what's going on, man? It's TH. What is TH? All right, I'm gonna plug up my. I'm gonna go ahead and answer all these questions. It's the Savage, yeah. I'm gonna answer these questions that are on the website currently, on the forums. By the way, quick note on the forums: the forums are a huge resource. Definitely take advantage of them. We have some great moderators: Christos, Jeff, Max Havoc. The whole crew, they're just freaking awesome. Judy is just rock solid moderators. Okay, so I sound fine, audio is good. Hello, Savage Squad. All right, glad to hear everybody can hear me. So while I let everybody jump on here, I'm gonna kind of just go through these questions. There's not a whole lot on the forum, but I wanted to go ahead and knock those out. So one here says, I have not had a chance to read all the info on this forum, but wanted to clarify something. Currently, I'm in week 7, phase 2 in the course video, so this person has already started the course a while back. But her question is, you mentioned that no one should go below 1,300 calories. If so, go back to onboarding. But my spreadsheet shows the red blocks where I should stop at with the calories in the 1,200. Should I follow spreadsheet or the video advice? So that's a really good question. And the answer to that is simple. Basically, I don't like to take people below 1,300 calories. I know the spreadsheet shows 1,200 calories, and that's going to be a little bit different per individual, but I don't typically like taking people below that. Of course, you have to take some things into consideration, like a 6'5" male is going to have a higher caloric floor than a female that weighs 110 pounds and is 5'1" or 4'8", so not all the same rules apply. General rule of thumb, though, I don't ever like taking people below 1,300 calories. If you kind of fit that description of being like very, very tiny, you could probably go a little bit lower, but I don't particularly recommend it. Next question. Great, looking forward to us participating in the first round of DSK. Fell off the wagon too many times in phase 1, so I decided to onboard back up to 1,800 for my last set of macros. They're going to start on Monday. Their fat percentages. So some of these questions kind of apply to people that have already started. So I'm trying to keep this Q&A mostly for people that are just starting. But her scenario is basically she onboarded to 1,800 calories and was at 76.2% fat ratio. If you haven't done the course before, which she has, but since she kind of fell off the wagon, I'd probably recommend for her to stay with the generic 80% starting point. So most people are going to benefit from starting at 80% because if you haven't done the course before, you probably don't know what your ideal fat ratio is. So I would start at the 80% and go from there. Somebody is looking forward to this, so that's good. One more question here. Actually, she's gonna save her first spreadsheet and start a new one. So most of these questions are again kind of for people that have already started. So I'm pretty much just gonna. Okay, here we go. Today's my first day. Had a hard time eating all the fat and less protein. What foods do you suggest that won't be boring? Sausages, hamburger patty, and eggs can be boring if repetitive for 30 to 90 days. Yeah, so a lot of people wonder about, food variety, which is a, legitimate question. You don't want to be bored with your food. I mean, food should be enjoyable to eat for sure. Um, I take a very strict outlook on that. Like I am very, very machine when it comes to like prepping for a contest or something. I want to remove as many variables as possible. I treat this like a scientific experiment. If you're going out to a different restaurant where you can't accurately track the macros, if you're cooking a new ornate meal every night, it's going to be hard to consistently track the macros. So I like to do, like macros will change every week. So what I like to do is meal prep for the week and just kind of like hit what I'm craving that week, eat pretty much the same foods that week, and then as macros change the next week, meal prep, new foods with my desired tastes and cravings. That way I'm hitting the macros dead on the money every time. I'm giving myself the variety I want. And I'm able to just really kind of hone things in because, like I said, if you're switching daily, it's going to be really hard to accurately know what's impacting what. All right, so I'm going to switch to the new questions now that are on the phone here, this YouTube Live, and not my computer. How to get a large amount of fat in at the end of the day without uh, coffee, without P and C, or protein and carbs. I have 50 grams of fat left and don't want to chug a huge cup of butter. All right, that's a very good question. So I like to have a couple options in my fridge or pantry that are basically 100% fat, 100% protein, just for like scenarios like that. Mayo is a really good option. Obviously, you probably don't want to just chug mayo. One of my good like macro toppers for the night, if I want something a little bit more like as a nightcap to my meal, is I'll get mascarpone cheese. Mascarpone cheese is like 11 grams of fat per 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of carb, or at least the brand that I eat is. So that's a really good option. There's like, I think, 8 or 11 servings per container. So if you need 50 grams of fat and no proteins or carbs, I'd probably go for something like that. Or like a fatty tea or something like that. You don't want to have the caffeine at night. Love the DSK updates. So much easier to navigate. Yes. Yeah, phase 3. Yeah, we're definitely trying to work to improve it each and every time we go through the course. Like we want it to be better for y'all. And each time we get a new wave of participants, we get new questions coming in. It's just going to keep getting more and more refined. So ever evolving course for sure. Andrew says, Robert, generally speaking, do you see women losing weight in the onboarding phase? My girl and I are doing your program together, and she's unsure about increasing calories for 6 weeks and not losing. All right, so I mean, I would kind of need to know a little bit more information. I'm assuming since she's doing onboarding, she's probably had a very low caloric intake to start. And this is pretty common with a lot of women. They'll start at a very low caloric intake, and there's basically no runway left to taper macros. And they're trying to lose weight. The last thing they want to hear is you got to increase your calories. And it's possible that she will gain a little bit of weight in that onboarding phase. It's possible that she'll lose weight, though. And that, I mean, obviously is not like a very clear answer for you. But think of it like this. When you are depleted for very long, you're taking in a very low caloric intake, your body's up against a wall. Like, it's not going to lose any weight. Anything that you give it, it's going to hold on to and store because it's afraid that it's not going to get any more. That's a common problem I see in a lot of women. So when you start feeding your body more calories, it sends a signal to it, okay, we've got food coming in. We don't need to hoard all this energy and store it as fat. That's why a lot of people start losing body fat, losing weight after they increase their calories because you're giving your body what it wants and needs and it doesn't have to stockpile it anymore. Is it worth onboarding if my starting calories are 2190? I'm losing body fat at those calories. I like to check my ceiling. Um, yeah, so what were your calories like prior to starting or prior to the 2190? Have you tapered down to 2190? The 2190 is a pretty solid starting point. Again, like I mean, I don't know what your muscle mass is, your height, weight, any of that information, but I mean, 2190 is not bad by any means. So you may not need to do onboarding. Why does your weight go up and down so much? All right, great question. That is totally water related. Your body has an equilibrium between your water, your sodium, your potassium. If any one of those three variables is off, it can cause you to lose a lot of water weight or gain a lot of water weight. Usually gain a lot of water weight. Also, if you have a lot of variables like traveling, if you're traveling, you have like stressors in your life, you're not getting much sleep, you're gonna be releasing more cortisol. that's going to make you cause you to hold some water as well. That's why like a lot of people when they're traveling, like if you just do a road trip, for instance, if you don't get any sleep, you wake up a few minutes heavier the next day because your body's holding on to the water from inflammation. That's why I don't ever worry about like, you know, a couple pound fluctuations on a scale from a daily basis. Like that is totally normal. As far as the carb count goes, do we count total carbs or net carbs? Total carbs all the way, 100%. I want to make that very, very clear. That was kind of a confusion with the first round. I didn't know if it was 10 grams total carbs, 10 grams of net carbs, 10 grams total all the way. Is there an updated spreadsheet? So there was a couple snafus in the first spreadsheet. There's like a repeat date or something, so we fixed that. There's not a whole lot of changes to the spreadsheet itself, because the spreadsheet's pretty solid. Like there didn't need to be a whole bunch of adjustments there. Main thing with the spreadsheet is make sure you're using Google Sheets to use the spreadsheet. Like if you try to download that locally on your computer using like Excel or Mac uses numbers, that's just gonna kind of mess up the formatting some. So I would definitely encourage you to use Google Sheets as the primary software. If someone is going through the DSK protocol a second time and they go back to onboarding, do they need to repeat phase one, or can they just move to phase two? Great question. So I've definitely gone through DSK like a jillion times. It wasn't called DK, but every time I've done a contest prep over the past 4 years, like I'm going to DK, and I know what my fat ratio, my body prefers for that. Someone that hasn't done that or is not in tune with their body, even if they gone the course once, they probably benefit from going through it a second time or even a third time and doing all phases because your body constantly is changing and adapting and evolving. You know, my body's gone through the similar protocol multiple times, so it's pretty consistent on how it's done it. But if you are only going through the second time, your body's going to be like, okay, I recognize this. I'm going to adapt more quickly, or I'm going to adapt more slowly, or I'm going to change the way I go about this. Like your body's pretty smart. So if you've only got through the course one other time, I would encourage you to go through phase one again and see if your preferred protein threshold has changed at all. Now, yeah, I would say, I mean, if you're still losing weight at 2190, then yeah, keep pumping it up because that's just going to give you more runway to work with going forward. I lost a decent amount of weight during onboarding, and my calories weren't even crazy low. Yes, that's cool. I love hearing people. They've been at a caloric deficit way too long. They're not losing any weight. Then I tell them to start eating more and they start losing weight. Like it's just a huge win. You're basically improving your metabolism. You're improving your hormones. You're giving your body a much better foundation to work with. Are there any differences or changes from the first version of DSK program? Yes. So we've changed forums some. We've changed the not a whole lot of the course material. We're tweaking the spreadsheet a little bit. We're adding more content. Actually, this weekend, Crystal and I are going to be doing a bunch of workout footage, and we're going to add that. Hopefully, that'll be up within the week. So we're just going to continue to add more and kind of refine things as we see where there's been like roadblocks, inefficiencies in the past. We'll clean those up. We have cleaned a bunch of them up, and we're just continually getting better. Screen froze. I missed the answer for total carbs. Yep, total carbs all the way, not counting net carbs. I've been on 2 months and have noticed that it's much more difficult to get through my weight training workouts. I tend to feel weaker than I am used to. Anything I can do about this? Very likely that is electrolyte related with your sodium and potassium, especially if it just training specifically. So I would probably, track your sodium. Most people don't intuitively track their salt intake, but track your sodium and see something up here. See kind of what your total sodium and potassium intake for the day is, and then manipulate based off of that. I know you don't drink alcohol, but let's say I want to have 1 glass of dry farm wines on a Friday night. Is that detrimental? Would you keep within total calorie budget? Thanks, Robert. Hashtag at y'all. Um, So I'm an extremist. I go all in. I encourage people to do this course and go all in. So I would not recommend the wine. Like, I don't want you to do 90 days and ask yourself, well, gee, I wonder if much would have changed if I didn't even if I hadn't had that glass of wine every night. But that's a trade-off you have to make. Like, I mean, you have to ask yourself, like, is that glass of wine worth it? Like, is it really, the topper of the day that just makes it all come together? If so, then that might not worth that might not be worth any potential extra fat loss or anything. I gotta try and fix this audio. I don't know why it's so bad. Is it better now? Hello, hello. Anybody message me? Am I frozen? I haven't seen any more comments come through. Maybe everybody's lost me. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Yeah, I've decided that YouTube Live is great, but it definitely does not have very good quality as far as like just consistency. You're not frozen, but you keep buffering. I've got super solid signal here. Like I literally get the best internet I can, so I don't know why that would be an issue. Let's try and go a little bit slower. You're not frozen, but you keep buffering. That's so strange. Make sure I've got, yeah, I'm on. I could try and take my Wi-Fi off. Let me try that. All right, I am now off of Wi-Fi. YouTube Live is a resource hog, yeah. I've got like the best iPhone I can get, and I've got the best internet I can get, so it shouldn't be any issues there. YouTube on computer is better than YouTube on phone. Grab an Ethernet. Is that any better? I took it off of Wi-Fi. Am I less buffering now? Or no? Man, I hate technology issues. Just, I hate them. I hate them. My computer wasn't working. Okay, it's better now? Okay, good. Better. Seems more stable. Perfect, perfect. Alrighty, we're back in action. Still fuzzy, but the audio is more consistent. I don't think I've got any. Make sure I don't have any lens here. Yeah, it's better. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, y'all. I'll try and figure out if there's like a better way to do this. Like maybe I can hardwire my phone directly into an Ethernet or something. I don't know, but we'll work. It'll be a work in progress for sure. All right, we'll keep the questions coming. Then we're back in action. Just bought DSK today. I'll be traveling 5 days next month and 12 days in October. Can maintain keto during travel, but no access to a gym. Is this a concern for successfully completing DSK course? No, it is not a concern. The course is definitely focused on nutrition. Like there are training modules. We're going to be making additional training modules. But the course focuses without a doubt on the nutrition. So if you're traveling and your nutrition is still on point, you're still going to benefit from the course. That said, I encourage you to be as active as you possibly can while traveling. But, I understand like if you're traveling, you might not be able to consistently go to a gym as much as you like. But yeah, focus on the nutrition for sure. Next time, hardwire on a laptop. Roger that, brother. I will do that for sure. I'm going to have to get like a cable or something. Can you lose weight in phase 1? Should you try and go to phase 2 as fast as possible? Ooh, Christos, loaded question here. When the moderators are asking the question, you know what's up. Yeah, so this is a very good question. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on this. Y'all can learn from the first wave of participants here. The first wave of participants were just so eager to get started and just jump into the course, which, I'm sure y'all are eager too. I don't doubt you. I don't blame you at all for them doing that. But be patient. You don't want to always have the grass is green on the other side mentality when you're going through this course. If you're in phase 1 and you start losing weight, and then all of a sudden for like 3 days you don't lose any weight, that does not necessarily mean you've hit your protein threshold and you've plateaued and it's time to move to phase 2. One of the common problems we saw with phase 1 and phase 2 of the last wave of participants is they would just go through phase 1 in like 2 weeks, which is not really ample time to accurately know your protein threshold. Then they would be in a hurry to get to phase 2, and then as soon as phase 2 is ramped up and things started getting just a little bit hard, they started getting a little bit of hunger, they wanted to move to phase 3 to get a refeed. It's like you're selling yourself short if you do that. So just play it safe, be patient, chip away at it day by day by day for 90 days, and you're gonna be rock solid. Do not try and rush it. How long should we take to ramp calories back up in between running through the course? So you're not ramping up calories in between the course. Like you have an onboarding if you need to. Not everybody's going to have onboarding, but some people are going to have an onboarding, and then you have an offboarding, in which calories are going to be increasing. But it's going to be very gradual. Um, Typically, I'll increase calories a little bit faster than I decrease calories, but not much more. Do you recommend maintaining macros for a few months before going into a second round of DSK, or just cycle down again on phase two after finding protein threshold? Good question. So if you have just completed phase one, or if you've just completed the first wave of the course, then I would encourage you to take some time prior to going into a caloric deficit. You know, a good rule of thumb, and again, it's gonna be different for everybody, but a good rule of thumb is to take how long you've dieted down and been in a caloric deficit and double that and kind of be at that maintenance or surplus for that doubled amount of time. That's going to make your body more responsive when you do cycle back down again. If you're just constantly in a deficit, it's just not going to be good. Like your body's going to be fighting you the whole way through. But if you reset each time, give your body ample time to build and, you know, develop quality muscle mass, that's only going to help and make things more beneficial when you go into your next cut. I have a Spartan race in a month. This will be my first on keto. Any suggestions for nutrition during the race? A little worried about stamina. I generally take 4 to 5 hours. Um, so you could incorporate the keto refeeds for that, but if that is in a month, that's going to be a little close. I mean, you're not going to be able to have gotten to the refeed stage of the DSK course by then. And it kind of depends on what your calories are at, but you're probably going to be at ample calories within a month's time to not really suffer any performance. I would mostly focus on your electrolytes and kind of like hitting your macros as planned for the race, but maybe backloading them all and doing like a 1 meal a day for that day prior to the race. That would be a good recommendation. Just finished up phase three. Yeah, so if you just finished, I think you were asking about recycling. Yeah, how long should we take to ramp calories back up? Yeah, so if you just finished phase three, then you would do your offboarding, you know, and take that very slowly. Again, you can go a little bit faster than when you were decreasing your calories, but go a little bit faster, but keep it slow overall, and then just kind of see how your body responds. You don't want to gain a whole bunch of weight very quickly, but if you're just increasing calories gradually by 50 calories a week or so, you shouldn't see any adverse effects. Why do you increase calories faster than you do when lowering them? Just because your body's a little bit more responsive in a good way. Like when you decrease your calories and you're in a deficit for quite a while, your body's primed for muscle growth, especially if you're training hard. So like if you're in a deficit and you start increasing your calories in the offboarding phase, and again, you don't want to just go berserk and increase them too fast. But if you keep it, pretty conservative, your body's gonna be very primed for muscle growth, and it's gonna use those calories to build muscle. It's like a sponge at that point. So you can leverage that time, add a little bit more food in, a little bit more energy, and build a bit more muscle. So anxious to lose these last 15, 20 pounds, but finally accepting that my calories getting up as high as I can is probably best. Yeah, that's absolutely right. A lot of people they have this crazy amount of weight they want to lose, or even not crazy. Maybe they're at only 10 pounds left, but they're at a very very low caloric intake. It's not worth it to damage your body to try and lose those 10 pounds if it's going to put you back farther in the long run. Like be okay with getting a little bit of weight if necessary to increase your overall health, and then when you go through a cut again, your body's going to be much more responsive. You're going to be able to lose that 10 pounds easier, and you're just going to be able to do so in a sustainable, healthy manner. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. Do you recommend eating majority of the food the night before a heavy workout day, or eat more after the workout? I go to the gym usually at 7 a.m. and don't know if what I ate last night is enough to energize. Yep. So if you're eating late at night, and I like this, like especially if you're training early in the morning. Like if I'm training early in the morning, my meal the night before is what's fueling that workout. So especially when calories get lower, I'll oftentimes do like a 1 meal a day approach, backload the majority of my calories and macros for that later meal, and then especially if you're waking up early and going to the gym, you're gonna be fueled for that workout. Like those calories, fat digests much more slowly anyways. Like you're gonna be totally fueled and have ample energy, especially if your electrolytes and everything else are on point. That'll be totally fine to energize that workout. Um, Me through the whole workout. I don't want to eat so early in the morning. Yeah, I definitely would not eat prior to going to the gym. This is a common misconception. People eat before a workout, like an hour before a workout, thinking that that's going to fuel the workout. That food is not absorbed by the body within an hour of eating it prior to training. And what's worse is majority of your blood, or not the majority of your blood, but a lot of your blood is going to be in your digestive tract breaking down that food and not in your muscles where you want it. You want as much blood in your muscles as possible. So, that's why I don't eat for several hours prior to training. Any thoughts on vegetarian meal options so far? I'm figuring mostly eggs, cheese, tofu, and Kite Hill yogurt. Yeah, so as a vegetarian, you get to be a little more creative with your foods. I mean, you're not going to be able to eat a ribeye or ground beef or steak like a lot of people are going to be. What about fish and eggs? Like, okay, so you said eggs is fine. What about fish? Was that a pescatarian, I think, when you can eat fish? So if no fish, eggs, cheese, tofu, Kite Hill yogurt. You don't want to have too many veggies because then you're going to be having too much carbs. So I wouldn't recommend going too crazy there. A lot of your oils, make sure you get monounsaturated oils, more so than like any of the vegetable oils, polyunsaturated fats that are too processed. You don't want to have any of those. Um, okay, so no fish. Olives, yeah, olives are really good. Thanks for everything, Robert and Crystal. Well, thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. Pickles. Yeah, pickles are really good. Pickles are great for just getting some crunch. They don't have just a whole lot of nutrition in them, but pickles are good. Just be conscious of how much salt is in pickles. You can eat a jar of pickles and be 7 pounds heavier the next morning when you wake up because you had such a sodium load. How about the carnivore approach with DSK? Totally fine. You can totally do carnivore. Um, the 10 grams of carbs is more like an upper threshold than a recommended amount. Like if you get less than 10 grams of carbs, that's totally fine. So you could basically incorporate the macro recommendations that DSK will provide with carnivore-based food choices, and that is totally fine. In fact, it's pretty easy. I do recommend though that you try and opt for cuts of meat that are fairly easy to track. So like a steak, like a ribeye, it's going to be a little more variance there. Like each cut of steak is a little bit different. There's not any two that are the same. The fat ratio might be higher on one, might be leaner on the next one. So going for something like ground beef, it's gonna be a little bit more consistent across the board, would probably be better for you. Keep on coming with the questions, y'all. Thank you for the info. Hoping to build some muscles while I am going up on my macros. I'm gonna bulk with you. Yeah, very nice, y'all. So I'm about to be in a bulking phase right now, so I'm gonna be doing the exact opposite of DSK, which is a cutting course. I just finished doing the course, but having like a bulking, cutting cycle in a healthy, sustainable manner is very key. That makes it fun. Like that way, you're working towards something. You're constantly improving on one front or the other. Don't try to do both simultaneously, because then neither they kind of compete for each other. So doing one and then the other and being okay with how your body responds and reacts to each of those cycles is very important. If burning 800 to 1200 calories 3 times a week, should I be replacing any calories? No. So very good question. All these activity trackers that like tell you how many calories you burned are crap, honestly. Like I've never used them. I've never liked them. I've never recommended them. And honestly, they're dangerous. Like people tell you, people look at their Fitbit and say, "Oh, you burned 3,000 calories today. I guess I can intake another 3,000 calories and it's going to be totally fine." It's not the way it works at all. So I honestly would not even use that data to make any of your adjustments and manipulations going through the course. Like just don't even look at that information. You can have it, you can kind of like track it, and continue to train hard for sure, but do not worry about trying to replace those calories. Can I be done with DSK soon? Because I'm starting to look like a broom handle. Max is starting to get all thin and lean and mean, man. Yeah, man, bulk with me, brother. I'm excited though. I think this will be good for everybody that's going through the course. I'm excited. These testimonial pictures that started coming out blew my mind, yo. This is the first time I'd seen a lot of them. Keto Connect's crew got all those fixed up and like freaking awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There's one person that was like 54 pounds or something crazy like that. Um, by the way, Max, I bet you're a jacked freaking broom handle. You're one of those jumbo broom handles just covered in muscles. Where can we see the pics? So there's some on the website. They are, I think if you go to the DSK protocol, it's got that landing page, and there's some of them there. And then we're gonna be just rolling them out continually going forward, posting them on social media because they really are motivating, y'all. Like this the impact of this course didn't really hit me until I saw some of those pictures, because it's like some of these people I never even talked to before, but they've done the course and they had like this crazy transformation, and they just look much healthier and they look more excited, and like their zeal for life is back. And I think that this course, something that I created, had that impact. Like, phew, that's freaking awesome. The testimonials are incredible. Yes, they definitely are. I'm excited for y'all to make some testimonials. A lot of these people on this Q&A right now are OGs from the original. I slipped up. What should I do? Do I repeat the week? Do I start over? Ooh, another good question from Christos. So, if you, it kind of depends on how bad your slip up is. Generally speaking, I would recommend just getting back on course. What I don't recommend doing is, like, say you're going through the week and you go out with your buddies and you have like an extra 500 calories. The next day, don't eat less than 500 calories. Like, don't subtract 500 calories from your planned day. Like, getting into that cycle of trying to compensate for the day before, the day after, that's what leads to yo-yo dieting in the first place. So don't do that. I recommend just getting back on track. If you totally go off the deep end and like cheat and eat carbs for like 3 weeks, then yeah, you're probably gonna be better just starting over. Is there a certain section or website where the photos are grouped? I don't think so. I know there's some in the landing page for the course. So if you go there, there'll be some for sure. And I don't think we've posted them all yet. We haven't posted them all yet. We're gonna just kind of continue to roll them out. But it's just really cool. Like, I'm excited to share them with you because it's really motivating. Is it? I just read that one. Where do you the no of flavors, does that work with ESK? Says zero, everything but skeptical. What is that? Where do the no of ooh flavors? You might have to retype that one because I'm not sure what you're saying there. Maybe talk about how easy it is to slip in offboarding or the day after phase 3. Only thought of this for future people and others nearing that. Yeah, so the course is not over when the 90 days is over. There is definitely a thing as having a negative rebound effect. So if you're in a calorie deficit and you're depleted, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go off the deep end, eat a bunch of calories because I'm hungry, I deserve it. That's not good. Like, your body's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a sponge, and it's gonna soak up everything that you put in it. And you can use it to your advantage and build muscle. If you're eating clean foods, increasing your calories intelligently, and training hard. But if you just go up the deep end and start eating a bunch of calories, your body's gonna hold on to that as fat. I mean, it's gonna be like a sponge, and it's gonna have a negative rebound. So be smart about that. Don't the finish. There's no finish line in life, y'all. There's no finish line in life. Like, just keep getting better, keep making things sustainable. Like, don't look at this as I'm gonna go crazy hard for 90 days, then all hell's gonna break loose. Like, learn from this and then continue to learn from it and continue to apply those principles going forward. Okay, I missed a bunch of questions here. I'm at my maintenance weight, but want to shape up after having a baby. Would Deeper State help towards that goal? Most people I see are in it to lose a lot. Oh yeah, you can totally use it to shape up. I mean, you don't have to lose a ton of weight. Like, you can just focus on recomposition. Um, like, if you're like, you might not lose any weight going through DSK, but if you're able to lose body fat and build muscle, then it's a huge win. I mean, it's definitely not all about the scale weight alone. So you can definitely recomposition in a positive way with the course. It's the flavor drops, one-on-one flavors. I've never used the flavor drops. What is in them? It's like, is it stevia? I'm assuming probably. Apart from body composition, my mental health is definitely better. Community is so great. I recommend just going to the forums and asking, lots of motivation too. Yeah, the forums are great. Like I said, the moderators are great. The participants are great. Like, everybody's just freaking awesome. Deeper State Keto has addressed the typo in the title. What is the typo in the title? It's called Ooh Flavors. It's a flavor drop. Been all over IG. Huh, I hadn't even seen it yet. I'm gonna have to check it out. No, they aren't. That's exactly what I want to do. This is really awesome community. It has been so supportive and open. I appreciate all the willingness from fellow DSK members to chime in and motivate. Thanks, Keto Connecting, Keto Savage. Yeah, thank you. The community is awesome. I mean, the fact that there's as many people on the forums as there are, and everybody's genuinely in it to help everybody else, I mean, that right there just speaks to the quality of the people that's involved. No stevia, it says PG, glycol, and natural flavors, which makes me super skeptical. The title of the live is desk. That is not good. I will edit that after I end it. I was on my computer when it started and it wasn't working, so I switched over to my phone real quick, and it was like 3 minutes after because of the snafu. So I'm like just typing in titles, fat fingered it, I guess, and totally messed up the title. So I apologize there. I will fix that. Yeah, I will look into the PG glycol. Let me screenshot that real quick. Hold on, y'all. All right, I just screenshotted that. I will look into what that is, but that is very skeptical. Natural flavors is oftentimes a cop out for things you don't want, so I would be skeptical for sure. Sweeteners in general, y'all, like a lot of people, like I know on DSK we've allowed, like for stevia and stuff like that, and that's better if you're gonna use sweeteners. But ideally, you can just not have as many sweeteners at all, and then you'll start noticing yourself not craving the sweet foods as much. Like me, I've been on this whole no sweetener kick lately, and I literally don't crave sweeteners, and I feel better for it. Like sweeteners, even stevia can elicit an unwanted insulin response. It can make you hold water. A lot of the artificial sweeteners, especially like sucralose, I hold a lot more water with sucralose, so be mindful of that, and do not just jump into too many sweeteners. All right, more questions, Joe. Any more questions? I don't know how long we want to go with this. It's been 37 minutes thus far. We've done as long as an hour before in these live Q&As. And again, I want to do these live Q&As pretty consistently. Like I had originally only planned on doing them for the first wave of participants when we first launched the course. But I think it's a great way to add value. I think, it's we get new questions each time. We get some repeat questions, but it's good to, kind of answer those questions a second time for people that are into it for the first time. So I have no problem doing these live Q&As on a regular basis. What do you think of the herbal tea fruit flavors? I haven't tried that specific brand. I do like herbal teas though. I normally get, oh shoot, what's the name of the brand? Depends. There's a couple that I get. I get Yogi. I get Tazo. And then I'll just go get like a random tea brand. I don't have like any preferred favorites. I'll just get something random each time I go to the store and kind of experiment with it. What's the average fat to protein ratio do you find most people fall under? I'm in phase 1, just moved down to 78 fat and feeling kind of crappy. So I noticed most people do not feel good below 75. That's, again, most people feel better around the 77 to 78. My sweet spot is between 78 and 81. I noticed that women especially tend to prefer a higher fat ratio. But again, these are all just kind of generalizations, so make sure you go through and find it for yourself as an individual. And I noticed that men can often go a little bit lower on the fat ratio, a little higher on the protein without as much of an adverse effect. But again, that is totally generalizations. PG is propylene glycol. It's a chemical compound that is safe for human consumption and helps with solubility in water. I'd question what else is in it though. I learned something new today. I'll look that up too because I'm very keen to find out what that is. Some people are having trouble logging into the site again. Yeah, I don't know why people are having trouble logging the site. The only thing I think is if you buy it with PayPal and your PayPal email is not associated with the email you use to log in, that could be a disconnect. If you go to the very top of the page, there's that account button. And if you click on that, you can reset your password. And then if you have trouble there, just email deeperstateketo@gmail.com. But try the account feature first. Yeah, Tazo tea. You not heard of Tazo tea? It's pretty good stuff. Dr. Berg did a video on PG today. Thanks for doing this live Q&A call. Super helpful. Thank you. So is PG something new? Like, is that something that's just been around for a while? Or is it like something new on the market now? There's also a question that confirms that you are not a bot. I didn't notice it. It took me a few tries to realize that. Yeah, there's usually like a CAPTCHA or something. I don't know. Most websites have that now built in just to confirm and kind of like fight against spam. When trying to dial in on the fat intake's sweet spot, how long should I stay at a certain level before moving up or down? So macros will be adjusting every week. So I would go on that week-to-week basis. But again, make sure you're kind of in a specific ratio for a long enough time. Like, you're not gonna know if your body's responding poorly to it like with 1 or 2 days. Especially women, like if you're on your cycle or your hormones come into play, or if you're traveling or whatever, there's a whole lot of variables that come into the picture that can skew things and kind of blur the data a little bit. So try and have a pretty even playing field. No, that was me helping you with the name, but you then said Tazo right before I hit enter. Yeah, Tazo. PG is antifreeze, is in antifreeze and mini e-cigs. I don't know if I want to be drinking anything in antifreeze or e-cigs. Isn't new, it just has a bunch of different uses depending on what you add to it. What are your go-to snacks during travel when on DSK? Go-to snacks, I like peely nuts. That's my preferred nut because the fat to protein and carb ratio is so much better than most other nuts, than any other nuts. I like jerky, I like pemmican, I like hard-boiled eggs, sausages that are pre-cooked, keto brick, obviously. Those are my main go-tos for sure. Interested in DSK, how soon will I begin to see results? I already go to the gym 4 days a week. Is that enough? Lift weights for years, trying to lower body fat and lose 15 pounds. I mean, you'll see, I don't know what your macro is like now. Like, if you're eating carbs right now, then yeah, you'll see results very quickly. If you've been keto for a while, you won't see results as quickly, but we'll definitely help you get you dialed in and optimized. So I mean, you'll be able to feel different within weeks for sure, especially if your carbs are kind of higher now, even if you are keto. Like, there's a difference when you go as low as the carbs are on DSK. Like, it makes a pretty significant change. Well, water is an antifreeze too. Yeah, that's true. A little bit of everything's an antifreeze. I wonder if that PG in antifreeze is what makes it sweet, which is why dogs drink it, which is why they do not do too good afterwards. I don't know. I'll look into PG. This is honestly the first time I've ever heard of it. Since I've not been doing sweeteners, I haven't been up to date on my different sweeteners out there. Using antifreeze, I've seen it in ice cream, mix up, etc. Not the greatest thing out there. I have allergies, so I avoid it. Yeah, it's probably not the best thing out there for sweetness. I don't like things that aren't natural, to be honest. I'm drinking water right now, not alcohol. Speaking of things that are flavored, this sparkling spring water that's got like I guess just infused with fruit. This one's like infused with blackberry and pomegranate. Like, I love that stuff. Sean's in the building. What's going on, man? I was on the fence about DSK and I almost didn't do it. I highly recommend anyone on the fence take the jump. It's worked wonderful for me. Yeah, so Sean, this is cool. I'm glad you jumped on here, brother. Sean, like, was not into the course at all. All the moderators and I were like talking. I'm like, man, this Sean guy, he's just totally bashing the course. What's going on? He hates it. What's going on? And come to find out, he said a couple questions. We got him fixed up. He's like had amazing results. He's freaking awesome. Sean's the man, and he's been commenting on my YouTube videos. We email back and forth. So lots of love to you, brother. Typically wake up and just have coffee with stevia and cinnamon before a hit session. Is that still acceptable in DSK? Yes. Again, if you can kind of wean out the stevia, just simply to optimize, I'd recommend it. But stevia is not that bad as far as what other options are. So that should be totally acceptable. Um, I downloaded the spreadsheet a week ago. Should I look to re-download to get the most updated tracker? I don't know if we've made any upgrades since then. So you should still be good, but you are using it in Google Sheets, right? Not Excel or another format. I sell chemicals for a living, so if you want a crash course, Robert, yeah, I might need to so I can get up to date on this PG stuff. LOL, Sean, what's up? Sean, my buddy. Are regular extracts okay on DSK? Vanilla extract, almond, banana. Um, yeah, I mean, they should be fine. Again, you have to kind of look at all the ingredients, make sure you know what's in them. I don't use extracts personally, but extracts are going to be a much better alternative than a lot of the heavily sweetened options. Robert has 24-inch pythons like Hulk Hogan. Not quite 24, but getting close. Speaking of measurements, everybody take their measurements before they start the course. That's huge, 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 and nobody does it. Like, even with my one-on-one coaching clients, I'm like, all right, take your measurements. If you have access to an InBody, use it, or DEXA, use it, or BodPod, use it. Take pictures. Nobody wants to do that because they're like, oh, I don't got time. But if you do that, I swear to you, it's going to be well worth it. You'll wish you had. So take pictures, take measurements, gather data. Yes, in Google Sheets. Okay, perfect. So you're rock solid there. Judy Love says, hey, Sean, glad to see you in here. Yeah, Sean's the man, y'all. He's a cool dude. It's cool to have somebody that I thought hated the course and was not going to be that great, and then all of a sudden turn around and totally change their viewpoint on it. Like, that, to me, speaks volumes of the course and just kind of like what it's capable of. So, I love it. All right, what I miss here? Another question. Just to stress again, please use Google as opposed to Excel for spreadsheets. Much easier. Yeah, honestly, y'all, like, it opens up. You can download whatever format you want on your local drive, but you're gonna have nothing but headaches if you try and do it on Excel or Numbers. Use the native format that it was built on, and it was built on Google Sheets. Um, Thanks, Judy, and thanks, Robert. Yeah, too many errors with Excel. Sean, I'm forcing Robert to Tampa, so I will keep you posted as you are nearby. Just saying. Yeah, I need to come to Tampa. I was actually talking to Danny Vega yesterday about getting out there and doing some collaborations with y'all and just getting some content out. So that should be happening soon. We need to have like a group workout. Everybody in the building just going savage on those weights. You know what I'm saying? That'd be good. That would be good. All right, y'all. It's been 47 minutes. Keep on coming to questions if you got any. Did Crystal use DSK for her contest prep? So yeah, basically she did. I mean, I coached her for her contest prep, and the principles in my coaching are the same principles that are in DSK. So yeah, basically she used DSK for her prep. She used me. She didn't use the course, but I mean, like I said, the principles are the same. So it's theoretically she used the course. So yeah, and she had, I mean, she got on like 13% body fat. That was her first time cutting down. Like she rocked it. Hey, KetoCon 2019 tickets are $100 this August. See y'all next year. OG DSK meetup. Yes, faux show. Yeah, speaking of that, KetoCon's awesome. You know, like a huge advocate of KetoCon. Like they've been really good to me. I've spoken there twice now. I've spoken there the only 2 years they've had it. It's been great. Like the organization is great. One of the big arguments this year was that the ticket prices were too high. It's like $400 for the weekend pass, which is very high. So that was one of the common feedback things they got. So they've dropped it down to $200 for all the tickets. And then this month they're doing like an early bird special, and they've dropped that to $100. So basically a quarter of what the cost was this year. So highly encourage everybody that's interested in going to the conference to take advantage of that for sure. Yes, trying to meet up the day before Thursday. Nice. I'll be all about doing a meetup. When is the wedding? Crystal's and my wedding is April 28th, which is the same day that I proposed and the same day she competed. And it's going to be, yeah, next year, April 28th. It'd be good. We haven't even had time to think about that yet, y'all. We've been just totally grinding out work stuff and keto brick stuff and DSK stuff, and it's been busy for sure, but I'm excited about that. It's gonna be at the family farm. We're gonna have a lot of barbecue. We eat a whole bunch of barbecue. Will Jack be the ring bearer? Jack's gonna be the barbecue. Don't tell Crystal I said that though. No, I don't know who's gonna be the ring bearer. Well, probably one of her nieces or nephews, I guess. It'll be good though. I would love to sit here and talk about the wedding with y'all, but I'm gonna answer emails because I got a whole bunch of DSK emails right now, waiting in my inbox from people that have questions about the course and all that jazz. So, without further ado, I'm gonna jump on that. But excuse me, it's been a pleasure on this live. Like I said, we're gonna do this every single week, at least for the next month. So stay tuned for that. I'll be sure and post the times for these lives in the forums. Feel free to post questions on the lives in the forums, and I'll be sure and answer those. So we'll get everybody's questions answered, and everybody will rock this round of DSK. So let me know if you have any questions. Keep on killing it, y'all. See if by any way I can help, let me know. For sure, brother. Faux show. We need to email. We just like set up a call or something, man. It'd be good to connect with you, anyways. Good luck, everyone. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, good luck, everyone. Thank y'all. Thank you for getting the course. Honestly, like it's super cool that y'all got this course. I'm very excited for you. I appreciate all the support. Obviously, like everything that's going on is just. I mean, I say this in all my vlogs, on my podcast, but the people, you, are the reason that any of this is possible in the first place. So thank you. That said, y'all have a great night. Take care. Toodaloo. I'll see you on the forums. I'll see you on the lives. And I'm about to start a new YouTube series, so I'll see you on the daily vlogs. Talk to you soon.